Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. It is a snowy January day here in Connecticut. Looks absolutely fantastic. The snows are covering the stone walls, the trees. Looks absolutely glorious outside. With that said, I am waiting for that spring thaw to release the daffodil bulbs and iris bulbs I planted in the fall time because I can't wait to see them. Now, I'm not going to be talking about gardening today. I have 3 women that I found. So 3 influential women of gardening. One of them is Kate Sessions, Beth Chatto, and Gertrude Jekyll. Now there's many women out there that are influential, and I may touch on them in another video, but I can go on and on forever. So the first woman gardener I want to talk about is Gertrude Jekyll. Now, Jekyll was born in Surrey, England, at what was called Munstead Heath. She would later go on to found Munstead Wood. Now, Munstead Wood was not only her home, it was her garden, and it was her nursery. The late Christopher Lloyd visited her as a child, and she accurately predicted that he would be a magnificent gardener. Now, Gertrude Jekyll would go on to create 400 gardens in the US, the UK, where she was born, and the rest of Europe. And she would follow what was called the arts and crafts style of gardening, where the relationship between the garden and the house was extremely important. And I actually used that in the creation of my own garden here. And it's still carried on in many gardens throughout not only the US, but the UK as well. And when she would create these gardens, she would take her experiences in creating a garden, the foliage and the color into her designs to really make these gardens come alive and tying the house and the gardens together. Like I said, she influenced me in the creation of this garden itself, as well as many others. Now, moving on, I want to talk about Beth Chatto. Beth Chatto's wouldn't go on to finding her nursery until 1960 and garden, and she would find on 7 acres on what was her husband's family's orchard. Now, this part of the orchard wasn't very good, the ground wasn't good, so it was a very, very tough place to garden. But what Beth Chatto understood was plants, and how plants, depending on the plant itself, reacted to different environments. So even though there was many poor areas on these 7 acres, she used her knowledge to create what was a problem area into magnificent gardens. One of the best known is her dry garden. It almost looks like just a gravel garden, but she made the area work. But she also has woodland gardens there, as well as ponds where there's plants as well. So she was a woman that was right plant, right place. And what I learned from her is no matter the area, there is a right plant for it. I had this hydrangea one time at the property I was living at before, and it looked like the same type of environment I have here, where I have a nice, beautiful hydrangea tree. But it was not doing well at all. It was like half dead. So I'm like, you know what? I know what to do. Thanks to Beth Chatto. I dug it up. I found another area where I thought it would do better, and it did. It came to life. I took what was a poor situation for myself and the plant and created a situation where the plant thrived and made the area look that much better. Now, Beth Chatto has many books that she has written. One of the most popular and her very first book was The Dry Garden. Take a look at it, because she has written many books that were not only helpful to me, but many other gardeners. Now, Beth Chatto and Gertrude Jekyll were both from the UK. This last gardener, as well as designer, it's funny, all three women have had nurseries. But this last one, Kate Sessions, she was born in San Diego. Now, what she did is changed the landscape of San Diego itself. If you look at San Diego, the way it should be without being touched, it's basically scrubland, maybe some pine trees, but she really wanted to enhance everything. Now, what she did, she came up with a deal and proposed that the city lease her 30 acres in what was City Park, and it would eventually become Balboa Park. And in return for leasing those 30 acres, she would plant 100 trees in the park itself and either plant or provide 300 trees to the city. So she introduced many species of trees. The main one being the Jakarta tree. I've never seen it personally. I've looked at videos and images here on my computer, and it's an absolutely stunning tree. And she really helped change landscape. And she didn't, where the heck is it here? And she made that deal in 1892. And eventually her nursery would move from the park to the city itself in a more residential area, which is kind of neat because it really gives it more of a sense of community, I believe. But she really helped gardeners as well as the city change the landscape by herself. And in what was, like I said, scrubland, she, as one woman, took a very transformative approach to what was, at the time, probably not a good looking situation. But these are three great influential women of gardening. There are many more women out there, like I said. But what these women go to show is what one person can do. We had one change the landscape of a city. We had another show us that no matter what, we can create a beautiful garden in an area that we might not deem suitable. And that was Beth Chatto. Like I said, take a look at her books. And the other, Gertrude Jekyll, how to design a garden and really tie the house and the garden itself outside together to make a beautiful area. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.